Welcome to the Porch Podcast. Welcome to the Porch Podcast. It's your boy, DJ E, Mr. Influential, and I'm rocking with my brother.
Yes, sir. P Original, baby.
Yes,
Two-time champion. Laid back. Yes, sir. Ready for Freddie. Yeah.
Ready for Freddie.
Huh?
First of all,
get a champ, get a toast.
Champ can get it too.
Champ can get a toast.
Yeah. Blow
Bling.
the whistle. There it is.
There it is. I
Yes.
got it. I
Blow
got
the
it.
whistle. Blow the
Right
whistle.
here.
Blow the whistle. Clap it up one more time. Clap it up one more time for the world champion, Super Bowl champion, Philadelphia Eagles.
Absolutely. Oh, my goodness.
Now,
Yes.
as the Swami, I called this all the way through.
Working on one, so they'll see that. That's why I say work video.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah?
That's yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, it's smooth though.
Yeah.
Doing your 1-2, but that's a
Yeah,
Swami.
As a Swami. I
Yeah.
said this was
Y'all
going to
see
happen.
that because I want credit where it's due.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said this was going to happen.
Right.
I said this was going to happen.
You did.
I said, oh, no, the Eagles won.
You did. You
I
did.
seen already earlier, man. You know, off air. Because we're never offline.
Never offline.
Never offline.
Right.
Me and you had this conversation. I said what was making the difference is with you guys this year. I was talking about the defense.
Sure did, bro.
And I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, it's the defense. Regardless of what Saquon doing. Offensive player of the year, shout out to him. Make this correction. Once again, I got to make this correction. Last week I said Lamar Jackson had won MVP. Josh Allen actually won MVP. They said it was the closest one. Let's clap it up for him. Said it was the closest one in history, I think, for MVP.
To your defense,
Yeah.
you said I believe.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And even in your belief when you were explaining it,
Yeah.
you got all but one right. And the one that you didn't get correct was so close
Yeah.
that literally it could have went the other way, exactly
Right.
how you describe it.
Right.
So in your defense, that was the only one, like you said, that you were
Right.
off on. But so well deserved,
Yeah.
right? Well deserved. Obviously, you know what I mean. We're celebrating the Eagles being victorious, but it was well deserved in the sense that when you look back statistically, we had this conversation, and first off, number 3 in that situation, just in case you didn't see it, was Saquon, and the number was incredible. The margin was incredibly wide.
Wide, yeah.
Me and you had this discussion.
Right?
I did not get a chance to double check and see if there has been any other position in terms of player outside of a quarterback that has received the MVP.
Yeah.
Have not, so I still have to get back to this. So I don't want to be like, yo, whatever.
Yeah.
But when we talked about it, just from the perspective of who comes off the field, in between plays and all that kind of stuff, the quarterback, barring an injury, literally, or some kind of, blowout score, the starting quarterback is in the game the entire time. The only thing they don't play is defense and special teams, obviously. All the other positions have rotational guys, even with Saquon, there's other guys, Kenny Gainwell, Will Shipley. There's other guys that can come in, just using them for an example. But the quarterback, minus any kind of injury, I understand it. I do have a respect for the fact that it has been, if not all of the times, predominantly an award that was given to a quarterback.
Right.
Because I believe personally, like you said before, bruh, the quarterback is an extension from the coaching staff, actually, who's a player on the field.
Yes.
So,
yes. Field supervisor.
Field supervisor, field game manager.
Yeah.
This is what they do. They can single-handedly lose you a game.
Yeah.
Regardless of any and all other things. So, no discrepancy against that. Once again, shout out to that. Josh Allen, MVP. Well-deserved. But I'm going to be a little selfish tonight. Yeah, I'm going to be a little selfish tonight. It's cool they won the MVP. Because my quarterback won the Super Bowl MVP. Shout out to Jalen Hurts, baby, for winning the MVP. My quarterback, the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. You know what I mean? Went out there, showed off.
He did.
Even with the one hiccup, to which it happened, it looked like, like maybe he didn't have, his arm wasn't charged all the way up. like he was at 73%. He thought it was at 95. It was at 73%. And it was cool. It's the one thing. I think we had to show that he was healed. You know what I'm saying?
I think what it is, too, is when I first seen that
Mm-hmm.
I got a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
I did.
Give me a percentage.
Because
nervousness.
Not seriously. About 27%.
Yeah.
Right.
It's wild.
Right.
Yeah. 27%.
27%. That's funny.
Wow, you
That's
caught
what
that.
said.
I was trying. Word is mine. It was one of I was hoping you would have seen the show later and missed it in real time. Go ahead. Okay.
But then the defense turned right back around.
Okay. Which you already said going into it,
Yeah.
that was going to be the determining factor anyway.
Yeah, the defense. It turned right back around and got Patrick Mahomes up out of there like that.
Shout out to Coop, man, for his birthday, baby.
Yeah.
Rookie season,
birthday,
Super Bowl.
Pick six.
Honestly, the pick six in does he need to play anymore? Can he get in his career now?
Yeah,
like honestly,
he got everything.
Not to say he probably won't, but I mean, think about it, bro. Your first year as a rookie, you're a starter. It wasn't like he was in there. It was garbage time, and he picked off the pass at the end of the game.
Nah.
No. He flipped field fast and took it all the way back to the house.
Yeah, return kick. He be returning kickoff sometimes.
Boop. You be hearing.
Yeah.
First, I thought they was booming for a while. Back when I first seen him when he started that situation. No. Mm-hmm. I think like you're saying, though.
Promising future ahead for that young
man. I believe it's a promising future.
And it was his birthday.
Birthday, him and Saquon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
talk about what I believe the Chiefs came into the game script thinking. This is what I believe. It's gonna have to be somebody else besides Saquon.
Absolutely.
We're gonna take Saquon away from the game. We're gonna definitely make sure that if the Eagles win this game, it will not be because Saquon had a crazy game. And I will give them credit for that. I will give the Kansas City Chiefs credit for definitely bottling up Saquon and making him have a difficult day.
They did.
I promise you, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Here's where the problem is. We were never one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Never. We were never just a Saquon team. No disrespect to him because beast all season. Number 3 in the ranking, in the voting in terms of MVP, literally. Right. The number 1 running back.
Yeah.
And the 3rd person overall in consideration.
And he was you don't get there without him.
You don't get there without him.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Right. Not saying it's impossible. But
no.
I don't believe you get
You can't take away from reality.
Yeah.
He was great.
Yeah.
He did some phenomenal things this year. Had a great and wonderful individual season. Gotta say this. Quick question. And we'll stay on topic with it anyway.
Yeah.
In hindsight, because we don't know, like you said a few minutes ago, would have, could have, should have situation. One may turn around and say at this point, what if we did let him play against the Giants that last game regular season? Mm-hmm. Chances are he breaks the record. Right? Shot in the dark. We don't know, but chances are. So he breaks the record, wins a Super Bowl on his birthday, regardless of whether or not he goes off in that game or not. That right there is so iconic, Cinderella story type of situation, documentary, would be out 30 for 30 kind of situation. It didn't happen. My question to you is this. In hindsight, it's all said and done. Confetti done dropped. Lombardi's been handed out, and all this stuff has been swept out of there in the NOLA. Would you have played Saquon?
For
that game against the Giants, final regular season game.
I know what you're talking about. It's an opportunity.
Right. And because he got the team, the overall team highest award that you can win in that sport, it almost seems fitting that he would have gotten that, plus broke Eric Dickerson's record to be the all-time leading rusher. You know what I mean? Or for the season.
Yeah.
You know, highest rushing yards for a running back in the season. To me, I was looking at it 2 ways. I was like, dang, did he kind of get robbed? Right? Like, I didn't feel this way because being super transparent, going into the situation, a part of me is screaming like, yo, we got to protect him for the postseason.
Right.
Still think that was the most important thing to do. That was the wisest thing to do.
It worked.
Right? It worked out. Now, when you turn around and you look at the fact that we wind up winning it all, one can't help but think like, yo.
I know what you're saying, but it's not as important as it sounds. And the only reason why I say that, really, is because they would have said it wasn't real anyway. Because Eric Dickerson
We
did
talked
it in
about
less
it.
games.
We talked about it. Less games. They would have. They
mean?
would have found a way to kind of dilute the
Right.
thing that he had accomplished.
That's why it was always cool, like when LeBron
Right.
passed Kareem.
Yeah.
Because they both did it in their 20th season or something like that.
Right.
So it was the same amount of years.
I got you.
All that type. You get what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
But LeBron did it in much less games. He did it in less games.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Okay.
He did it in less games.
Okay.
You know why? Because he shoots threes and stuff like that too. But it's still points.
Okay.
Still
Okay.
points.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because we got big men shooting threes now. Kareem played in a different era.
You're right. You're
So
right.
it still makes him the
Right.
all-time leading
You're right.
scorer. So, but doesn't mean he's the GOAT over Kareem. Like, it doesn't mean none of that. It's just, but it's in a single season we're talking about for Saquon.
Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because that's still with the record state season. But they would have said, he needed an extra game.
Yeah. I do think that exactly what you're saying. They would have diluted his accomplishment for all the reasons that you just pointed out. And we actually said it then as well. I think that, the reason why we were successful is because of the decision that he made not playing in that game, or they made for him, however you want to say it, because it's always been about the team.
Mm-hmm.
And being about the team is why they're the champions now.
Yep.
I had a question that I asked you before in regards to the situation. How do you defeat them, right, in terms of the Chiefs? I have Tom Brady. I'm sitting there, I said to myself, I rule that out. I don't got time. We're going to work this.
But then I did tell you what you got to do.
You said it. You said, listen. Because I said, yeah, you was like, well, how did you beat the Patriots? You broke it down. And, took a big play, you know what I mean? BG did with his thing, which shout out to BG. I'm so glad you can retire now, brother.
Yeah, with two of them.
With two of them, you know what I'm saying? You and Lane. Mm-hmm. With two of them. Jake even listen.
Jakey. Don't forget.
About a month ago.
Yeah, don't forget.
Jake was going to have a hard time even walking and getting a sandwich in Philly.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Jake can go get him free now everywhere he wants to go.
Yeah.
Awesome game yesterday. Big-time players. I believe it was Chauncey Gardner-Johnson who said it. Big-time players make big-time plays in big games. Came up clutch. Even all the flags, Lovato, the snapper moved. He got so sharp he was, back to back, even after the penalty situation. Shout out to them. I'm shouting out my young Thundercat, Lion, defensive players. Them young brothers went out there and they were stud working.
Because what did I say?
You said that it was going to take defense to win that game.
Yeah.
You said that they all young and they all stars. All your stars is playing at a high level. You said all of those things. And everything that you said, bro, you was 1,000% correct. Born had a pick. You said that. He was going to have a big game. I told you then. I give all that credit to Fangio because he recognized the guy that was out there in New Orleans primarily playing as a special teams guy.
Yeah.
Turned around and came to our team and became a starter and had a pick in the biggest game that you can have winning this season.
And went to the Pro Bowl.
Went to the Pro Bowl.
But it's in play.
But was in a whole other team and pretty much was relegated to the special team squad.
Yeah.
Going back to the statement that I just made a few minutes ago, talking about the situation with Tom Brady. That's what you said you needed Tom Brady. Then you went back and said defense. Y'all beat him 31-9, correct? Okay. Don't let the score fool you. You saw it afterwards and you didn't watch the Super Bowl, it's fine. It's going to look a little bit inflated. Stats, in my opinion, was a little padded. You'll see 40-22. The game was over, really, going into the fourth quarter, personally. Just still with time on the clock, and I respect Patrick Mahomes. But when I seen what them brothers was doing yesterday and the way that they was flying to the ball and how uncomfortable that brother looked, I said it's going to be a problem. Mm-hmm. It was going to be a tough day.
Yes, sir.
I realized something. The history's funny. I looked up and I said, wow. First time we played the Patriots in the Super Bowl, we lost. Second time we played them, we beat them. Super Bowl. First time we played against the Chiefs, we lost. Second time we played against them, we beat them. They looked at Tom as the GOAT. Fair enough.
The hell out of them.
and they look at Patrick as the next coming of the young.
Go.
Seems to me like the Eagles know how to take care of goats.
There you go.
And I realized what you need. See, we had it all wrong last time, brother. And I asked you that, and you said that you need Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. Then you said you need a defense. Well, I've come to grips with you need a Nick.
Yep.
I don't care if it's Foles or Sirianni.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to have a nickel on your team.
Oh.
Shout out to our amazing. You wanted this job out of the city of Philadelphia. Maybe a couple months ago. Superstar head coach Nick Sirianni, man, for having tough skin. Him, Jalen Hurts, for having tough skin. All the other guys that came out in that situation that we talked bad about. Jokers was kicking. Jokers was saying they wasn't going to have enough energy to do what they needed to do. They wasn't disciplined, playing sound football. Shout out to them, baby. It ain't who finished first. It's who finished the strongest. That was us. That was us. So shout out to them. Breaking down yesterday's game, dissecting it. I need your information on this.
Yes, sir.
Because I know for me it'll seem biased for obvious reasons. Okay. To you, let's talk about the Chiefs. Besides, you could speak about Patrick and how you felt about that. As a whole, what did you see yesterday, bruh, out of him? Because we got to start there. You know what I mean? Like you said, Patrick Mahomes, high and mighty situation. Him, Andy, whoever you want to talk about, the team as a whole. What did you see different? Because that Chiefs that you saw yesterday, that didn't look, that was an issue. Travis Kelce didn't even look like Travis Kelce that first half. He couldn't catch.
They was frustrated.
Okay.
They were very frustrated. They were mad early. I think it was how many turnovers did you guys get? 4?
So we had 2 picks.
Yep, 2 picks. Vaughn and Coop.
Yep.
Then it
and
was
a fumble.
Yeah.
I think 3. Definitely 3, possibly 4, but definitely 3. It was definitely 2 picks and a fumble. 1 pick, 6.
So it was the no. It was 2 things. Even though they got the call on the flag with AJ.
Okay, offensive pass interference.
Right.
Yep.
Fine
with the call. Yeah, I was fine with
it.
it.
They didn't have to, but
I was fine with it.
It was okay.
I was fine with it.
But he had him beat anyway.
It was hand fighting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He won the hand fight.
Yeah.
And lost on the penalty.
But AJ, but how smooth AJ did that, that kind of deflated them because he still got beat, right? But it got saved with that play. Then they got a quick little 3 and out or something like that. They're not used to that.
At all.
You know what I mean?
At all.
And like you said, Kelce couldn't catch. That one when Nuke was wide open.
Come on, man.
They weren't in sync, bro. They weren't in sync. That's what I seen different. But they were rushed.
Come on.
Because like I told you.
Mm-hmm. Young boys, Thundercats.
The way you had the young Thundercats.
That's right.
I said you good.
Mm-hmm.
I said we did the same thing. When we
said
had
that.
Right.
You said that.
Guess what? And for people who don't understand, they never blitzed. Not one time. It was that front 4 the whole time.
I love it.
Just winning the battle.
I love how he knows what he's talking
just about. Winning the battle.
Just winning.
They just won the battle. Every battle. Like they was that was it. Right there in the trenches. Yeah. That was the difference. Yeah. And I said to everybody, it was the defense that was going to win.
Caught it. I'm telling you, I look back, it's kind of almost eerie.
Yeah.
Like some of the things that we were having the conversations about before it developed.
But you knew it. I'm going to tell you why I knew. It's only three quarterbacks in his whole career since he's been here that beat him. Right? Jalen Hurts, Tom Brady, Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. That last one stays a thorn.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. Because time is gone, he's retired, you know what I mean? But that last one stays a thorn.
Only one that beats him.
Yeah.
Right? And every time they beat him.
How many of them you think I'm going to let go, man? Because that's getting crazy. Like the first 1 or 2. Like, I see him look. I mean, come on.
Hey, yo, we was flowing. I ain't even notice it, man. Damn.
Now you know
They
this.
defeated him.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
defeat him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Pause.
Yeah.
We all right. We all right.
It all came from the trenches. It all came from the front four.
That's where the game won at anyway.
If you look at it though, seriously, bro, Cincinnati when they went to the Super Bowl the year they played the Rams in 22.
Yep.
Bro, if you watch that AFC Championship game, they had him running for his life.
Yeah.
When we played him in the Super Bowl.
Word is bond.
We had him running for his life.
I remember that. I remember that with y'all.
Yeah, we had him running for his
And with
life.
the Bengals, like you said,
night,
they keep him on the move, man.
Yeah, and last night.
Yeah.
Had him running for his life.
Yeah,
That's
they
it.
Field day,
You
bro.
can handle that. You can get him there.
Yeah. He looked human last night. Not trying to be funny, but like, you know, sometimes when you look at certain athletes and they seem to always come out on the right end of it, you start to look at them as they're like bigger than just the regular athletes.
Right.
Because they always, like, remember how we were saying, oh, this guy's a magician. This guy's this, that, and the third. We
He
make
did
a
one of
joke.
the flea flicker
Right.
joints.
So when we see those things,
Yeah.
it's like that moment, like, oh, he's a little, because certain quarterbacks, you don't see, they won't even try nothing crazy like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And there's other guys that's more athletic than him.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I ain't never, and I'm not saying he don't do it, but I ain't never see Lamar do that, and he probably could do any of those things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, last night I think what we saw was a culmination of people coming in, talking about the Eagles, not being respected. I don't know what show that was on where they had to panel everybody. You know how they put the two teams up, who they speculate is going to win the game. No one, not one person on that panel picked the Eagles.
Yep.
Not one.
I told you.
Jalen's seen that. You see the picture that's going around. He's seen it. No problem. Love it. Sometimes you
it's
want
real
to
or
be
not,
that guy, even if it's real or not. And it could have. It probably was not.
Yeah.
Why would he just be walking by the TV store? They don't even put TVs in the window like that no more in stores. What stores do you know that still put TVs in the window you walk by? Or restaurant. We're going to give it a break. Maybe that was a sports bar.
I thought that was the hallway, and they just had.
Or with that, possibly that could have been the case.
Yeah.
But he's out there in the hallway at the right time when that's up there.
Yeah. And somebody takes a picture.
Yeah. Now, it goes great with now. It looks wonderful now. Now it looks like they pissed him off. It's fine. You know what I'm saying? No one picked us to win.
I'm just going to say this.
Yeah.
I did the Swami had definitely.
Yeah, but they don't. They didn't hire you.
No,
ESPN.
listen.
That's, I mean, like it's cool. I mean, it's cool. Whatever show that was. I don't know.
But here's the thing. He's truly the MVP of you guys' team. The award is called Most Valuable Player.
Okay, we talked about it. Go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead.
Not most talented player.
I like what you're doing with that.
Because Saquon was definitely the biggest talent on the team.
Okay.
But Jalen was definitely the most valuable. Look at the game against Washington.
Which one?
The one they lost.
Okay, so the second one.
Yeah. Remember? He got hit, concussion.
Got hurt. Yep.
And
Didn't finish the game.
Pickens came in.
We lost.
Right. And they glued right in. They start hitting Saquon the way Kansas City had Saquon last night.
Mm-hmm.
They started touching. And then because of that, Pickens couldn't beat him with his arm.
And then he posed no threat. No disrespect to him.
Yeah.
Because even him, he just got a Super Bowl win.
Right. Yeah.
He became a backup after being a starter and got a ring.
So when you go back and you look, and you look at the first time y'all met in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
23.
Yep.
You know, you lost.
Yep.
And they kept saying he just sat in that room for a while, sat there, and he just looked up at the coach to say, "We'll be back," and stepped off. They kept saying it last night. They said he sat there, just said he was there for a long time. He looked at him and said, "We'll be back."
T.O. style. That's my quarterback.
Yeah. Word's life. Clap it up for that.
That's my quarterback.
And I'm gonna just tell you the truth, man. Like, you're gonna take every Super Bowl you get. I don't care. Listen, Jalen can win 2-3 more in his career. That one was the most important one for him. Because it's his first one.
Yeah.
First of all, let's just go off the facts of that.
Yeah.
But it could have been his second one. and he got it back from the one who took it from him.
Oh, that's what I'm saying, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
that's the most valuable
that's
player on your
that
team.
right there.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Like when all
when
like
you break
you said,
it down that way,
break it down like that. When all the confetti falls,
yeah,
and you got that moment. You see how he was. You seen the video where he's sitting in the hallway on the floor,
yeah,
and he got the cigar, and I believe he's listening to
that's Frankie Beverly Mays.
Happy Feelings.
Yeah.
So you can hear it, boom, 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 boom. You know how many times he probably just was like, before that, like,
yeah.
Because, bro, the level of poise,
yeah,
like he said all the time, and he made it was an excellent statement. He said he had a purpose before they had an opinion.
exactly.
When you make a statement like you have a purpose before others have an opinion of you, and you go out there and you deliver,
right?
It doesn't matter what a person says. You see how he looked like he was crying? I believe that was his father or somebody that was really near, that was out there that he hugged.
I didn't see that part.
Okay. As you can see, Jalen's not super emotional.
Yeah.
He's pretty collected, right? He's pretty much poised as a person, which is almost eerie because you know that there is a release valve.
Yeah.
Because we all have one. But everybody release valve is different. Person may look up and see him smoking a cigar and see that it's so weird, right? Because they say, yo, he can squat 600 pounds. He can run the way he runs. He's an athlete, but then he'll sit down with a cigar or the one that you seen him in the picture in the locker room.
Same thing LeBron do.
Same thing that Jordan did. Mm-hmm. And I'm not comparing them to all of them. But what I'm saying is they'll let you see a little bit of that human side. So I'm proud of the young brother because he could have tucked his tail. Right? He could have settled for the fact that I went to the Super Bowl, an accomplishment that you have some quarterbacks who never, ever get to see.
I just want to say this, though.
What's that?
And this is something that I got to put out to the world. And I'm just going to say I'm proud of P because when the Eagles drafted Jalen Hurts, he said, what is we drafting a quarterback for?
This is accurate.
This is exactly what he said.
This is accurate.
Shout out to Goose. Goose talked him off the leg.
Hey, yo, when I tell y'all that he is being so, and full transparency, at the time, I felt like we needed a linebacker.
Yeah.
And I don't know
sense.
exactly which linebacker that was there at the time. And I felt like Carson was coming off of a really good year, and I couldn't see why we needed a quarterback.
Right.
I just didn't see it. I'll be honest with you. I'm glad I was wrong.
Yeah, I know you.
But at the time, I'm looking at places and positions of need and thinking to myself, Carson Wentz had just set stuff on fire. Mm-hmm. But then, he got hurt, and the things worked the way they did. And like I said, sometimes, bro, it's good to be wrong.
Absolutely.
And once again, I shout the brother out for his mantra being that he had a purpose.
Yeah.
Before people had an opinion. And I just really think that that's a big deal. And I think that when you got a leader that thinks that way in the locker room, it's infectious. Yeah. And so the young brothers that came in there, when you look at the personalities like a Chauncey, and you look at the personalities like a Slay, and all the other people that you saw in there that had certain personalities, you look at him and it still goes back to him making a decision on whether or not he wanted to be a leader or just fall back in the distance.
Yeah, that
they don't
mama
think I'm
mentality,
good.
man.
Definitely does. But he could have easily fell back and been like, yo, man, don't nobody believe in me anyway.
Right.
It's a tough city. Philadelphia is a tough city. It's a tough, place to play.
Yeah.
So, like, if you ain't built a certain type of way, bro, if you're not wired a certain type of way, then if you don't have the mantra that I had a purpose before other people had an opinion,
right,
you can be reduced and you can just find yourself in a situation where you'll look up one day and start questioning everything. So, once again, man, leadership, I think that was his pop. You didn't see the video. When you see it, you'll see, because he was crying like you've never seen. Like, I had never seen Jalen looking like he was crying and everything. Mm-hmm. Like, hugging this one particular guy. If you notice, he don't do a lot of that, and I believe that was his pop. But
Probably.
I'm just proud of him. Not just because that's my team, it's because my team makes it extra dope.
Yeah.
But like I saw it, bro. I saw he went through a lot of scrutiny
right now.
No, I mean, no, I definitely ain't gonna do that. But it's one of those things where you see
the team. It's your quarterback. If you did that,
quarterback like T.O. says,
he cried.
Yeah, but he was rich.
Yeah.
He was getting money.
Yeah.
You know. Now you give me a couple million, I'm right here on the porch podcast. But he ain't paying no money. No. I think that what we saw
Was greatness.
Was greatness. We saw discipline. We saw teamwork. We saw selfless play. You know,
he was the real MVP. That's
I
what
believe
I'm
he
to
was. I believe he was.
I mean, he still won. I'm talking about the season and everything. Though.
I believe he was.
Because at the end of the day, unit of the year.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give the awards for the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Unit of the year,
right.
Defense,
right,
hands down. Most talented player of the team, Saquon Barkley.
Go ahead.
He's the most athletic, talented person.
Go ahead. Yeah. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Most important defensive player on the team, Ball.
Okay.
Right. Rookie of the team, both of them.
Yeah.
Hoop.
And Mitch.
Yeah.
And Mitch. Yeah.
They.
Yeah, Coop and Mitch.
Co and co. They co.
Yeah.
They listen. That fucking listen.
I still can't believe
them two.
That how he was able to do it. When I seen him, I didn't think we would be able to get that back high up onto the.
Oh my God!
And he
boys,
traded, and I'm like, he's there, like
yeah.
Cooper DeJean. I said, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That right there.
You know what I mean? Shout out to them. So I like it.
Really, if you got to go unit,
right?
That defensive front four, bro.
Yeah.
All season.
Yeah, even with the rotation. And it's going to have a major overhaul, unfortunately. You know, Josh Sweat, he won't be back unless, I don't see them giving him a new contract. BG will retire. Yeah. I'm assuming. It's an assumption.
So that Myles Garrett thing could happen then.
There's a spot for him.
Yeah.
There's no question spot, but it's and Howie's a master at the numbers.
I just wanted to make sure that it don't kill that continuity.
So
that's going on there.
That's okay. We talked about this before, kind of from the NBA perspective, right? Because it looks good on paper doesn't mean it works. Right.
Because
Garrett was the focus
case,
point of
Carmelo
the
have a
defense.
championship.
Exactly. Myles Garrett was the focal point out there in Cleveland. They tried to put pieces around him. It didn't work. You're going to try to bring him into a situation that is intact and just expect him to mesh with those people. He's got to get on board with it being a team. And I'm not saying that he can't, but that's the way our guys
He's been the star
go.
since he's been there.
Right. And I don't know if Fangio stays exactly in that same position, in terms of being the DC. He may turn around and say, I like my guys.
Yeah.
We're going to move my guys around first. Right? Slade's probably gone. Right? So that means that Ringo's probably going to get a shot if they don't do something different in the draft.
What do you think Slade going?
You either retire or he may. I think we can convince him to do a 1 year, kind of like they were doing with some of the other people when they
like Sue. We did Sue back in the day.
I would assume that would be it.
How many years he been in the league?
I don't know, 12 if that.
Damn.
I'm guessing. I don't know. I don't have it in front of me to be able to tell you. I can look that up at some point, but they
might treat Slade like how we do Levante David.
Maybe. I think he's good. I think that he can play longer with us than to go somewhere else and try to be a one. He's not a one anymore.
Nah.
Mitch is the one now, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I think that if Slade wants to, in my opinion, stay there, he can stay there because the way the team is constructed, it could help him.
And it would be a classy way. Treat him like Levante David, man.
Yeah, he's
like
earned
us.
that.
Like, bro, like, honestly, that's what people was mad at with us when we didn't sign Devin White.
Mm-hmm.
And we went with Levante David. No, he's Levante David.
Right.
His whole entire career is there. Old head balling still, too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm much older. I'm older than him, but I call him old head because he,
football.
Yeah. About 35, 36 years old, man.
Yeah.
You know,
that's
we
just
ain't
what it is.
signed, even though Shaq wound up coming back to us anyway.
Yeah.
But we went with Levante because, you know, just like I feel like B-Dog should have always been an Eagle. Should have never left.
Yeah.
Should have
You know,
never even had to
Deuce,
go different.
Certain guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shady.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. D-Jack, you know, certain ones I don't think should have ever left. But I understand it. You know, it's business. And now these guys are doing what they're doing, you know. Even us, in terms of coaches, that's what happens. You win a Super Bowl, people try to pick off your coaching tree.
Yeah,
it's
what's
just what
his
it
name
is.
already gone?
Kellen Moore's already, or OC is gone. He was staying right there in NOLA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He on his way to see me twice a year.
Right. So, you know, do you trash those guys for doing well and getting opportunities?
He might have always wanted. He might be from that area.
Could be anything. He's earned the right to be able to get the interview and get the job.
Right.
That means that you did what you were supposed to do. So once again, you know, shout out to that. I think the situation with the Kansas City Chiefs, I'm not defending them, but what I will say about that situation is I'm not gonna say that they don't have anything to hang their head on, hang their heads, you know, low about. But you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
You all right?
Hang their heads low about.
That could be a problem. Low hanging head. Might need to get it checked out. Doctor's appointment.
Shit broke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for real.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
scary.
Slinky man.
Yeah. Wow. Noodle. What happened? Show was flow. You know what I mean? One a week. Gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? No, but you know, you got like guys like that that's gonna make, you know, make waves and do things that they need to do in other places, and they earn that right. So, you know, we'll see. Kansas City Chiefs, I think what they realize that, you know, it does take a team.
Yeah.
I think they'll grow from this.
Oh shit.
I think that it was nervous. He didn't know what was going on. He heard the noise and couldn't figure it out.
Thought it was a dog.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think the Kansas City Chiefs have figured out that was on that side. That's why you had to stretch like that, bro. Yeah. You had it in that side.
I know, but I won't hit the thing when I.
Okay. Yeah. So
I'm setting up anyway.
I think what you're going to see with the Chiefs,
right,
is you're going to see them go and look at themselves in the mirror, and they're gonna say, "We got a lot of work to do."
The offensive line.
And I think they're going to do a lot. I think they're going to do a lot because I think that they saw it. They saw, and they know that they got exposed.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You know, Cincinnati probably was sitting somewhere saying,
Cincinnati already knew.
But no. I'm not saying they saying because like we got the formula now.
Oh yeah.
They sitting there saying,
like, yeah, but
y'all did exactly what y'all knew what to do.
Yeah.
Y'all knew what to do. Mm-hmm. Smart. Y'all knew what to do, Eagles. You know, whether we may have looked at some of the things that they had success with because, let's be honest, maybe statistically wins, losses, I don't know what their record is, you know, playing against one another. You take a little bit from everybody and you see certain things. They knew that we was an RPO team. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They did what they did. We turned around. Jalen had a great game. Smitty had a great game. You know what I'm saying? AJ had a great game.
Right.
It was what it was. Can we switch for a second? Talk about this halftime show. They not like us. So you were telling me,
yes, sir,
that you were getting mixed reviews.
Yeah, a lot of people said it was the worst show they ever seen.
Why?
First of all, let me say this. I believe it was a Kendrick Lamar show.
Okay.
But there's always a message.
Okay.
Of course, people do the deep dives and break down the message and everything and do all that, but at the same time, it makes sense. And then you see it and then you understand what it is. Like he had the people dressed like Squid Games.
Right.
Red, white, and blue. So they made the flag. When they was dancing, that was an American flag. Most people didn't realize that was American. Was showing how we.
How would they have missed it?
There you go. I'm just make sure you're paying attention
to
my conversation.
Yeah.
But all the messages he was putting in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The funniest part, he was like, I can't do that song. It was like, no, dude. He said, nah, because they'll sue. They get mad and they sue you. Like, he's still taking shots at Drake. Like how some.
What song can he do?
No, he did it. Not like us. He was for
Oh.
the whole. If you watch it again, it's a whole story.
Okay, I'm gonna go back and watch it.
Yeah.
I was excited because it looked like we was winning the Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah,
I
ain't gonna lie.
I get it.
Yeah,
I watched.
Like
it
I was
after.
watching it, but I wasn't doing the deep dive.
I fell asleep on it.
Yeah, the halftime show.
Yeah, not because it was. I was sleepy.
That generally happens.
Yeah, then I woke up. I watched it home. So when you at home and you got your feet up and you eating and you go.
I understand.
That's what happened.
Totally get it.
But then I woke up. It was third quarter. But like I missed missed part of the third quarter and everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You saw what happened.
Yeah, I seen the whole fourth.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter.
So the show, in your opinion, you already told me what some of the people
it was a Kendrick Lamar type show.
Okay.
Which means he's more of an artist with a message than to entertain. But I think most people that were saying that was trash and were the same people who actually wanted Lil Wayne to be the performer.
Okay. So part of their reasoning was because it wasn't the person they wanted to perform anyway. So if we're not in New Orleans,
that's all.
Is it even a question?
That's the question I was going to ask. Y'all only saying that because we was in New Orleans, and I understand what people are saying about it. I understand that. I got it when they wanted Weezy.
I'm listening.
But I never debated it because that's a person's opinion. If they happen to have this show in Montana.
So I'm just thinking like arena-wise. Like
nowhere. I just say they had a Super Bowl arena built out there for that. I'm just using this for an example.
For example purposes.
Yeah. Right. My point I'm saying.
Then go ahead. I'm listening. I'm painting the picture in my mind.
And it's Kendrick Lamar performing. Y'all not going to care. Y'all not going to say it should be Weezy because we don't know no rappers from Montana.
Right. I agree.
You understand what I'm saying?
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I want to not understand. Because I think it's what they call, I think it's like a week. Yeah. But I get it. I think that in terms of the actual show, I don't have a problem with these shows. I think my expectation has been tempered quite some time now with these shows.
Right.
All the money going to the commercials, which were super weird.
Oh, yeah.
All of them,
I
AI commercials were like just.
I realized that. What I was about to say, I was going to speak on that next. I believe a lot of the commercials no longer are the spots are expensive, but everybody's going to try to use AI to actually shoot them. And they're going to look weird. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two.
Yeah. Well, a lot of CGI stuff.
Yeah, and the budget ain't as big, I don't think, as people think anymore either, because people go straight to social media.
Did you see Kanye's commercial?
Where he had the camera just up at his face like he was.
Hey, for this spot, man, for this slide or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Y'all go to Yeezy.com, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all, you ain't see that commercial? Oh, man.
I got the camera shooting like he an old man with the shades on, too.
What you say Kanye said the other day, man?
Oh, man. So we never got to speak on that. His tweet, the infamous tweet that had to be taken out.
Yeah.
He said, I used to want to fuck Kamala. I got to say what he said.
Yeah.
Until she lost.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with losers in it. I don't.
Yeah, it'll be a beep.
Yeah, I don't fuck losers anymore.
Yeah.
So he basically was calling her a loser from the election, but then he took it down and had to apologize to the kids. Yeah. All that stuff. That's wild.
God bless him, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then he'll get on the airplane and he'll go have
Sunday
service. Yeah. I think the halftime show was okay, was fine. My expectations weren't anything specific.
Right. It was what I seen.
I actually, honest to God, believe at this point, because I've always felt like you had audiences that tuned in for that, and you had audiences that tuned in for the game. I know some people who will get up halftime show and walk out. It has nothing to do with that because they're really just into the sport.
Yeah, they're going outside.
Because you got some people who make the argument, we only got one halftime show that you care about, which is the Super Bowl one. So for the guys who are football enthusiasts or people who enjoy the game of football, they almost feel like this is interfering with, like, this in the way.
The best one ever already happened years ago.
My thing is it's cool, but and maybe I might just be a little weird with it, but when I go to a Super Bowl or football game, I want to see football. When I go to a concert, I want to see a concert. Somebody one day said, "Let's put a concert,
Yeah, you
a little
don't,
baby
you,
one,
You don't want to know
in between the
You
football."
the same type of person don't want your food to touch.
I mean, I don't really care about that. That's kind of weird. I don't even know what
Some
you're
people
talking.
don't want. Some people like they food touching.
How did you make the correlation between that? What is that?
Because you can't. When you want to go see football, you want to go see football.
Okay,
When you
okay.
wanna
I got it.
concert,
It was scary, but I got it. You know what I mean? Once again, one of the gifts and curse about my brother is that I understand him so well that I'm like, even when I say I'm confused, I'm really not, because I understand what he's saying. No, I'm going to say that, and I see where you're going with that. So I'm not quite that weird,
Yes, you is.
but I do think that
No,
in
you're
terms
just
of
not
it-
that. You don't. You could get. You're one of those people, bro, that's going to walk off sometimes with the Super Bowl.
If I go to the bathroom and it's
Yeah.
missed,
or
it's missed the first 5 minutes of the
or
quarter.
or if you was a smoker, you going
Right.
outside to have a cigarette. At
Right,
that
if
time.
it,
You
like
don't
that's what I'm
care.
saying. If
Yeah.
it comes down to missing 5 minutes
Yeah.
of the game versus missing the halftime
Yeah,
show,
you
I'm
okay.
cool. I go to the
Yeah, I
bathroom.
was asleep.
You told me that.
That's
what I'm
how-
saying.
that's why
But
I
what
didn't
I'm, but what
care.
I'm, but what I'm saying is I think that my expectations is the reason what I'm getting to with
Oh,
that
yeah.
situation are more in alignment where
Nah, the
it's
people,
cool.
the people that said that this was
I
weak,
missed the Bud Bowl.
the people that said I missed the Bud Bowl too. We used to bet on the Bud Bowl.
Personally,
when
you
we
know what
had
I'm
the
saying?
Bud Bowl. Bring the Bud Bowl back. Let's go.
Please.
Let's matter of fact,
Yeah,
we want to go out there Milwaukee.
I understand. where you're going with it.
Anheuser-Busch.
I understand where you're going with it.
Have a conversation with them. Listen, let us commentate the Bud Bowl.
It'll never be the same.
You know what I mean?
Never be the same.
Yeah,
And he a
yeah.
DJ too.
Yeah,
Not really volunteering his services.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay for that.
yeah. But
It's
listen,
gonna be
what
quite
I'm saying,
expensive.
that the Bud
Right.
Bowl.
Bud Bowl.
But these people that have their opinion, everybody has their opinion. I'm not saying they're supposed to love it,
Mhm.
and I'm not saying they can't say it's the worst ever. But a lot of these people, I'm not gonna say all people,
Mhm.
were the same people who wanted Weezy to perform because they were in the world.
Yeah, now you were saying that.
That's how
Yeah,
I
no,
see
so I
it.
agree with that. But what I'm saying in the situation is
And the
that
reason why you know, not to cut you, because they'll say, "Yeah, Kendrick, man, this was trash, man. They could have Jay messed this one up. He should have definitely went with Weezy." You're basically saying it.
right. My thing with that is, once again, I think that, and this is just me, like you said, you use the analogy, you don't like my food to touch. My thing is, it's not so much that. It's
You don't care.
it's not even not about caring. I think the
not
value of it
It's more of the game.
is for you got people. My daughters could care less, not care less, but they're not as into the Super Bowl as they are into the halftime show.
Exactly.
Right? So I just give that.
Mine too.
So exactly. So with that being said, when there's certain groups of people that's what they're there for.
Right.
So they build up this hype and this anticipation of what it's going to look like, and when they
I know
come
exactly
out,
what you mean, bro.
and it's not a certain thing, it's there not
Because
realizing
they psychologically did it.
right. So
Yeah.
so not realizing that they got to work within the scope of what time frame they got, what they really can do. I can't really do whole songs. I can do parts of this, that, and the third. They want, what is the stage going to look like? What are the props going to look like? What are the dancers going to look like? And once again, I think they become invested into it and not being realistic that it's only a part of a larger event.
Let me
And so that's what I think happens with that situation.
definitely with that too. And let me say something that kind of like makes it similar to me from back in the day. When we used to listen to hip hop, we had to buy the tapes. There's no such thing as streaming at this time.
Okay.
We had the tapes, and hip hop was expensive back then. If you really pay attention,
Okay.
$10 for a whole tape,
Right.
all that type of
Right.
stuff.
Right.
But now you can pay $10 a month and stream a whole service of everybody's album.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
Think about it. But streaming made everybody's musical taste become broad.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It made them more focused on it. Back then, we didn't care about what a down south rapper sound like. You know what I mean? What I mean by that is this. The way that people tune their eyes for the halftime show and not the Super Bowl, I think they'll always be let down. Or not always, but more so because they love the artist. I think back in the day, because we were from the East Coast, we want, and it might be some West Coast rappers we do, we wanted all rappers to sound like them when we could have been being introduced to a whole new thing.
Okay.
Right? That's just what I'm using there. I think people that focus just on the halftime show, you're looking for a whole new thing that may not ever really come.
I think it's all of the stuff you said.
Yeah.
I think it's all of that stuff you said blended with
but not understanding you're there to watch the Super Bowl.
So me and you had a different conversation. I can't remember what it was pertaining to, but we was talking about like value. So like free versus something that has a price. I don't care what price you put on something. Once it has a price, there's an expectation. Right? Free things, you just accept them for what they are. When you look at the halftime show, it's a free view of seeing your artist that you may like, you may be interested in, have like a concert, a mini quick concert or certain situations, right? And because it has no value, like there's no pay-per-view. Like when people went on Netflix and watched Beyonce, right? Halftime. They had analytics showing how many people were watching that situation at halftime. And when it was done with her, how many people turned it off and was done with it. Netflix did that.
Yeah.
Then they turned around and made a special basically just with that part, right? When you look at those things, I think people look at them, certain artists and stuff like that, and there's these expectations of what they think these performances are going to look like. Once again, forgetting that it's wedged in between one of the biggest sporting events that take place every year.
Or the most watched thing, period.
So when you look at that situation and you say to yourself, I think it was trash, you realize that this is just wedged in between the most televised thing. We just want to keep you hanging around. You know what I'm saying? Pause. To be able to be involved in that situation and see it. Yeah. So when you look at that and you see what you see, like when you see Kendrick Lamar and you saw him do They Not Like Us, when he did that concert, he sung it 7 times, they said, back to back.
Damn near like 13, but we did it in L.A.
Right. He did it in L.A.
That pop-out concert.
Right? Pop-out concert in L.A., a couple NBA stars. It was all about that situation.
Right.
It was a totally different thing. Now, when you look at all the stuff that took place in that halftime show, he had the car there, he had the people coming out, like you said, artistically, using the people dressed in certain ways to do Squid Games, representing the other situation with the American flag. When you look at it from an artistic perspective, and you say to yourself, and I have to do that within whatever framework of time that is, you can still come up with your own determination, but what I will say to you is this. You do realize that it's actually part of a bigger situation.
Right.
That's not.
You just said something I didn't even think about. It was the coolest thing in the world when he did the pop-out concert.
Because it was all about that. Yeah. That's what that was about.
Right.
You wedge him in between something that's the biggest thing in sports thing.
Again, which feeds my point, because the Super Bowl was in New Orleans and he didn't get wheezy, now it's weak. Yeah, man. Y'all crazy. Even though the message was there. Listen, man, this has been episode
193.
193 of the Porch Podcast. The Eagles won the Super Bowl.
How about that? Once again, shout out to the Philadelphia Eagle organization. Everybody came together and did what they needed to do. So proud of you guys. You know what I mean? For the brothers, the young brothers that, it was their rookie season and all that. Kudos and congratulations to you, Trotter Jr. You know what I mean? That's a big deal. Your pop, I know, is super proud, you know what I mean, for you being able to bring home a Super Bowl champion with that Trotter name on the back of a jersey. Representing the numbers, awesome. Just so proud of him, man. I'm ready to enjoy the offseason, though.
Right.
I ain't going to lie to you. You know what I mean? Ready to kind of kick back, enjoy the offseason. It's been a lot of work for me.
Sound like you playing.
Yeah, I did. That's what I'm trying to get to. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
Like he's playing. Are you going to watch the UFL?
No.
Yeah, okay.
No, I'm not even
Underrated football league. Yeah.
Wow. E, tell them where they can hear us each and every week, bro.
On all your favorite podcast and streaming sites. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Audible. Anywhere, man. Red Circle. Anywhere you live. I said Amazon Music. Spotify. Absolutely. That's the one I was talking about, too.
Absolutely.
Anyway, you listen to your favorite podcast, P, tell them where they can see us.
You can catch us each and every week right on our YouTube channel at The Porch Podcast. You can check us out. Possibly either it's going to be released on Tuesday nights or Wednesday nights. It all depends, but it's going to be there. The way that you can help yourself out, though, is two ways. First and foremost, smash that subscribe button, right? And hit that notification bell so you know when all of our content, whether it's the shows or any of the in-between footage, make sure you do those things so you can be notified when everything gets ready to drop. As E said, this has been episode number 193. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate you. We look forward to seeing y'all next week. Go Birds. Mighty Birds to the champions. All right, y'all. Y'all be blessed. Be safe. Peace, family.
Who on the porch?
Let's go.